Hi, my name is Lauren Wynn, and today I'll be presenting my semester-long project for CPSC326 in the spring of 2024. So just some basics of my extension, I had decided to implement try and catch blocks into my PL. So basically a try and catch block is a construct that is used to handle errors or exceptions in code. So a try portion is where a user would write code they want to execute, and this would also be where they suspect an error would occur. Then the catch portion would be triggered if the error does occur in the try block, and it would continue to exit the program. And then otherwise, it will just jump over the catch block if there's no error and continue on with the code. So in my design, I had to implement a simple try and catch block that was designed to just handle runtime errors. So basically a runtime error is errors that would occur when a program is running rather than at compile time. And it's often due to conditions that are unexpected when a program is being executed. So what I decided to implement was to check for type errors like invalid string to integer or invalid double to or string to double, and then also checking for under or over indexing arrays. Just for a quick demonstration, switch over to code. This is just the most basic form of a try and catch block. So it should go through the try. As you can see, I'm doing a string int of 1, which is a valid string for string to int. And then if it is valid, it'll print high, and if not, it'll print error. In this case, it should print high since it's a valid string. And there we go. And then looking at something that would error out, if I tried to turn the string ABC into a double, it should obviously print the word error since that is an invalid string. Is that an error? Some other things I had thought also while making this was working with different statements. So I have a lot more in my examples file, but this is just one that I pulled out. So this is a while loop, and it's basically just iterating over a couple times, I think 2, and it's adding B to the string A, and then it's trying to do the string to int conversion of S after the while loop is done. Then obviously this is an invalid string, so it will print error. Okay. And then on the opposite side, if I was doing something like this, and I had my iterator, and then I converted the string to an int, or yes, the int to a string, and then the string to an int, it'll print 2 as a string and then 2 as an int. Like that. And then also tested out with some structs. So obviously in my PL, structs and arrays are a very big part of our implementation, so I want to make sure to test that as well. So as you can see, I had created a struct called T that has a field X that is of type string. And then in my try, you can see I'm instantiating a new object of T, and then I'm passing ABC as the field value for X. And in the line below, I'm trying to take that field value from T, which is ABC, and convert it from a string to a double. And obviously this is an invalid string, so it will error out. And then just some other quick things. I had also thought about function switching, so looking at different frames and how the try and catch boxes are able to adjust in different frames. So as you can see, I created a function f that just has a simple try and catch. So it should print 32.0 and done since it is a valid string for string to decimal. And then I'm calling this function right here in main. And just like that. And then also just for some quick array indexing, I had also decided to obviously account for if you're over or under indexing array. As you can see, like I had instantiated a array of strings called x1 that had 5 spots in memory. And if I try and print the 10th spot in memory, obviously that's over indexing my array and it should error out. Like that. So back to my PowerPoint. Some additional tests that I had tried to include in my scope was obviously using try catches in multiple statements, for, while, if, etc. Then using try catches in separate functions from main, using try catches with structs and array. So we can look at some of the examples also. So in my unit tests, obviously just the basic, I had added the try and catch reserve words and just making sure that the token types are correct. So try and catch, then it'll eat the end of string. And then in 2, we have just some basic things like if I have a try without a catch, or a catch without a try, or if I had a try and catch with no braces, or a try and catch with semicolons only, it will be a parser error as that's incorrect syntax. Then in homework 3, I had also just done a basic one again, and then also looking at a lot more complicated, like the while statements, as I was saying before. Homework 4, I have a try, just another basic one, and then a more involved one with a while loop again. And then in 5, I just have some of the opcodes that I had added into the VM, so just making sure that they are correct. So try start, try start end. Then I have a catch start and then a catch end, making sure that's all being read right. And then also in homework 6 for CodeGen, I had tested that it is printing the right stuff. So this is just a basic try. It's not going to error out, so it'll just print high from try. And then just a more involved one, obviously the array indexing again, just getting into arrays and then doing the int to string conversion of KO or K0, which is just 23. And then I also have a string int one that will just error out. As you can see, it'll print error because this is an invalid string, and it'll read out error. So getting more into what I had edited in the MyPL pipeline. So in the Lexer, I had first started by adding the reserved words of try and catch into my Lexer. Obviously, this is a very important aspect of it as I needed token types for my Lexer. And then in the AST, I had started with incorporating the try and catch block into the statement class of the AST, so creating its own class and then adding the classes into the AST file. And then I had started to build up the AST starting in the statement function, so it would look for the try catch token and then it would jump right into the try catch statement function that implemented. So it basically just eats the try reserve word, eats a brace, and then call a statement again until there's no more statements, obviously. Eats a left brace, and then it repeats the whole thing for the catch block. In semantic checking, it was pretty simple, as I just implemented my visitor statement for try and catch, and then I had wrote type checks already for the statements within my try and catch blocks in homework 4. So since try and catch blocks only contain statements, I already written all the type checking I needed for statements. So there's no real issues with that. I just needed to create my try and catch visitor and accept the statements within it. And then in my VM is where I had modified my PL the most. So I had added 4 new opcodes into my opcode file. So I have the try start, which signals the start of a try statement, the try end, which signals the end of a try statement, and then the catch start, which once it starts, marks the start of a catch block, and then similarly catch end marks end of a catch block. And it also added a flag into the VM that is just a Boolean value that try start sets true and try end sets false. And that's just to let the program know we're in a try statement or not, so it'll know how to handle errors accordingly. And then it also modified the VM for handling different errors according to string to int, which is what I was testing a lot for runtime errors, getting an index in an array, string to double, and then setting an index in an array. And then for CodeGen, I just created once again the visitor function that pushes the try start and try end when accepting the statements in the try portion, and then just the same as the catch portion. So getting into what was completed, I had successfully implemented a very basic version of a try and catch. It's able to handle all the statements within MyPL, function switching, arrays, and structs. It can handle most runtime errors, so obviously the string to int, as I was showing you earlier, string to double, and over-indexing arrays for using set or get. And then what was not completed, obviously I had not been able to do a nested try and catch block. My program's VM can't handle multiple nested try catch blocks as it sort of messes up my Boolean try flag. And then I also was not able to add multiple catches that catch specific outputs as many other languages offer, like Java or even C. And then given more time, I think I definitely would like to try and implement these things. I think it would be a very, very meaningful addition to my PL, and definitely a lot of users would find a lot of use out of it. And then also looking for other runtime errors, since ones I had accounted for, like maybe even zero division or something like that. Thank you.